I remember back in the 70's when some drum companies experimented with see-through shells and fiberglass shells and trying to find, as we were moving into a more high tension era, trying to find a shell that would stand up to the high tension and project. And projection was a big thing as brass lines grew bigger and they went from 50 to 60 to beyond. How can we get snare lines to project and drums to project? And
Yeah.
we tried scoops. We tried like cutting, the old Hinger concert snare drum, cutting the middle of the shell out so that you got more air out and more projection out. And I think we kind of came back and settled on a solid wood shell that ended up projecting the most, that was tuned right and not relying on outside, like, outside stuff you would attach onto the shell and this and that. I think it was a lot of, experiments that we ended up sort of back where we started, because around, like Troy always says, a round drum is the best drum, and just great solid like wood shell. And maybe Troy, you could talk a little bit about the Yamaha air seal system that makes a solid piece of wood vibrates the most. I think we went through a lot of phases and we ended up back where we started, because that ended up being a more true characteristic sound of the drum.
Yeah, the phrase is a round drum is a happy drum.
Hey there, everyone. Barry Hauser from the University of Illinois and Smith Walbridge Clinics. I wanted you to know that I am a huge fan of the work that Tim Hinton and his team are doing at Marching Arts Education. I recently joined him for a webinar, and that webinar, along with so many others and a tremendous amount of other resources, are located on his website. Now, if you're like me, you are constantly looking for best practices, techniques, and just want to know what others are doing in our activity. I know this information will be super helpful to you and your staff. I encourage you to consider a membership to help support Tim so we can continue providing this amazing information and other resources to our marching community. Thanks so much, and be sure to join today.